Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, we are continuing with Animorphs number 7, The Stranger, by K.A. Applegate. Sorry, I had to drink a little water there. Sorry. Okay, I flew into Tobias's territory. It was also the territory of at least one real horned owl, who would not be happy to have me around. It belonged to Tobias by day and to the owl by night. I knew a tree where Tobias often slept. Sure enough, he was there. I stopped beating my wings and glided up. I was already flaring my wings to come in for a landing when Tobias noticed me. It's okay, it's me, Rachel. Oh man, you almost gave me a heart attack. Sorry. Sorry? He demanded angrily. It's night. We're in the woods. I'm a hawk, and you're an owl who comes zooming up in attack mode. Don't do that kind of stuff, Rachel. I'm just an owl, not an eagle, I protested. I knew that some eagles and some falcons will attack hawks. Okay. It's just that hungry owls have been known to go after hawks. It doesn't happen a lot, but owls scare me. I know everybody sees cute cartoon owls and thinks all they do is say hoot hoot and act wise. But let me tell you, I've watched owls work. They aren't cute. They're tough. I don't ever want to have to fight one. I settled on the branch beside him, sinking my talons into the soft bark. I could see why Tobias liked this perch. It gave a perfect view of the meadow with all its tasty prey. I'm really sorry, Tobias. I guess I forgot that your life can be so dangerous. Yeah, well, it has advantages too, he said. No more first period gym class. So, what are you doing out here playing owl? I had to get out of the house. Uh, why? Unless it's not any of my business. I don't know. Nothing. I was just hyper. Tobias didn't say anything. Obviously, he knew I was lying. He just waited for me to tell him. Watching me with gold brown eyes that seemed to drill holes through me. But I didn't really want to tell him. I mean, I guess I had wanted to, or else I would. Like, or why else would I have flown out to see him? But now it just seemed ridiculous to lay my problems on him. I was just thinking about going down to the Yerk pool again. I said, "You're worried?" he teased. You? I get worried sometimes, I said defensively. I was thinking about flying out to the gardens to the zoo. Maybe acquiring some new morph. Something really strong and mean in case we get into fight down there. A lion or a grizzly bear or something. Thought maybe you'd want to fly over there with me. Rachel, you know I don't fly much at night. I can't see that well in the dark. Plus, there aren't any thermals at night, so I can't soar. I just hover. I just. I just have to flap the whole time, and that's miles away. I mean, a little trip around here, sure, if you want to go flying. That's a haul. Yeah, okay, forget it. I have an idea. Why don't you tell me what's really bothering you? You're all weird. You don't seem like yourself. It's nothing, I said. Sorry I scared you. I'm going to head on home. Rachel, you know you can always talk to me, right? Yeah. Look, I have a question for you. Do you ever think about years from now, like when it's time for college and stuff? As soon as the words were out of my head, I wished I could call them back. But Tobias was cool. He just laughed silently. Yeah, I'm thinking I could get easy A's in ornithology, the study of birds. You could definitely be the professor, I said. I just meant that sooner or later most of us are going to leave, move somewhere else. What do we do then, if the Yerks are still around? Tobias began preening his feathers. It's something he has to do, but it's also a habit he has when he's bothered by something. I haven't really looked that far ahead, but I guess I figured this whole thing would sort itself out, one way or the other, long before then. The Yerks win, and you don't have to worry about college. Or they lose, and we each go back to our normal lives. Some of us more normal than others, he added dryly. For a while, I didn't say anything. I couldn't. I was too busy hating myself for bringing this up with Tobias. Tobias, of all people, he was already a casualty in this war. He was trapped in a hawk morph. And here I was, thinking of bailing out? What was the matter with me? I couldn't leave. Leave Tobias living in the forest? Leave my best friend Cassie to fight? Maybe to die? So I could cut and run? Leave Jake and Marco and Axe? Why? Because my dad was lonely and I could take gymnastics class? Rachel? You okay? No, I wasn't okay. I felt sick. What was the matter with me? I couldn't leave. I couldn't give up. Me? Of course I'm okay. I lied. It's just the same. I think I'll go get myself some firepower. It's time for Yerk Pool 2. Animorphs Revenge, right? I don't know. It looks like I'll be staying out this battle, Tobias said. Don't worry, I said. I'll get a Hork-Bajir for you. You're okay? Really? It seemed like you were upset. Tobias, I am more than okay. Gotta go. Rachel, go home, Tobias advised. I opened my wings and beat them powerfully, sliding through the dead air of night. But I did not go home. I flew around a while, trying to get a grip on the confusion in my head. I couldn't. I couldn't go home yet. I knew I would just lay there in bed, eyes wide open. I turned and headed south. From the air, the current looks very different than it does from the ground. The roller coaster doesn't look nearly as tall or scary. And flying above the zoo area, you mostly just see the roofs of the various interior exhibits. The rest of it seems at first to be sparse woods with cement pathways winding in and around and through, just like curled ribbons. Looking closer, I could see the separate habitats. The trees and the running stream of the tiger area, the open field for the bison, separated by a tall fence from the impalas. I glided over the lions. Most were sleeping by a tree. One female is ranging around restlessly, like she was looking for something. It took a while to find the bears. I wasn't interested in the little black bears or the polar bears. I was looking for the grizzlies. I wanted power. There they were in a habitat of trees and rocks and a deep, water-filled moat fed by a tumbling, rushing stream. There were two, a male and female pair. Both were asleep, sprawled across the rocks. The male was bigger. That's what I wanted. Big, powerful, fearless. If I was going back to the Yerk pool, I wanted something desperately dangerous. Leave? Move out of town? Give up? No way. No way. And my dad, I would still see him when he came to town. That's what jets were for. I landed and began to morph back, to revert to my true human form. My feathers melted and ran together and became pink. My beak broke into teeth. My talons became smooth toes. My insides gurgled and squished and sloshed as some organs grew and others changed and others reappeared from nothing. The bear heard the sounds of my bones stretching and the faint rustle of feathers melting together to become flesh. He opened one eye and looked at me without understanding or fear. He was well fed. He had been in the zoo for many years and had all but forgotten the wariness of living in the wild. I was just something that smelled a little like a bird and a little like a human. I reached a trembling human hand down to touch the rough coat of the grizzly bear. His near-sighted eyes watched me. I was nothing to him. I could not harm him. He could destroy me without bothering even to wake up fully. It was beyond fear, beyond doubt, beyond pain. It must be nice, I whispered to him. I touched him and felt his power flow into me. And yet, as I absorbed his DNA and imagined myself becoming this fearless creature, I still could not forget the look in my father's eyes or the quaver in his voice saying, "But, gee, Rachel, I think it could be okay, you know?" I could already feel the emptiness his moving would leave in my life. He could say he'd come back every other week. He could say we'd still see each other just as much. But I knew it wouldn't be that way. I could imagine him backing up to go. I could remember the screams in the Yerk pool. I could remember Tobias trying to joke about college. Too much. Things that were small and personal, and things that were huge, all swirled together in my head. Nothing made sense. It was too much stuff. Too much fear and guilt and loneliness. Too many decisions. Too much. You know, there are days when I just don't feel brave and fearless. There are days when I just want to go to a ball game with my dad and eat popcorn and tune out everything else that's going on. Be a normal kid. That wasn't the life I had. Not anymore. And that's the end of that lovely chapter. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Whew, fuck. At least next chapter, Rachel can show another emotion than pure angst and sadness. Cause damn, I had to had to look to make sure this is another totally angsty chapter. She's feeling like laughing and making jokes and being sarcastic, right? Oh god, it's like I think at least 3 chapters of just angst like that. Like, my body can't take it anymore. Fuck this shit. The series will only get worse from not worse from here. I don't mean like bad quality. I just mean depressing. God damn. Yeah, I'm sorry for the little round of mistakes. I think for some of them I was able to cover the mistakes up, but as totally artistic choices. But anyways, I love. Sorry for tapping the mic there. I love Tobias and Rachel as a couple. They are adorable. They are just so cute together. And I like in this chapter, Tobias like, I know my totally not girlfriend is bullshitting me. And I'm going to allow her to say her thing, and then I'm going to gently nudge her to try to figure out what's wrong. And I like that. That is good boyfriend material there. Like, okay, you woke me up, you made me think I was going to die, but I'm here for you. I really like that. Like his selflessness is okay, what's going on with you? How can I help? And I do still think, I do headcanon that Tobias likes owls. Like, it's like a little owl fan club. But the reason he's being sort of pissed off about owls right now is that he thought he was going to die, and so he's like, okay, Rachel, you don't live in my metaphorical shoes because hawks don't have shoes, so that would be totally adorable. So you don't know how dangerous things are for me, so here's how dangerous they are. So I think that was like, I'm going to die thing. And, you know, if you have a moment where you think you're going to die or something really scary happens, you're not like, oh, I'm going to think about the best of this thing. I'm scared of shit. So, yeah. Still think he's a fan of owls. And please comment down below about what you thought about this chapter. Do you think Tobias is head of the Owl fan club? What do you think about from like a relationship standpoint how Tobias and Rachel interacted. You think? And, you know, if you are like older than the Animorphs themselves, so if you're like, 19 or 20, age these characters up in your mind. Age them up. Like, you can talk about them, but it's like age them up in your mind there. And talk about a relationship from that point of view. I just really hate that these characters don't grow up with us. Just because I'm like, oh, I crushed on Tobias back in the day, and now I can't crush on Tobias because, he's like a teenager, and that's gross and disgusting. It's like, can't you age up with me, dude? Can't you? Oh, damn. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling now. So please comment below. Let's start a nice nerdy conversation. And remember, if you do comment, do not comment on the YouTube video with big spoilers. Because I am hoping that people find these videos and this will be their first real introduction to Animorphs. And if you've read the entire series, you know there are some awesome twists and turns in this series that need to be experienced without knowing they're coming up. I mean, like, we've already experienced some twists and turns, like, oh, there was an Andalite that survived, the attack in, I was going to say episode 1, Animorphs 1, and his name's Exilium Isgorth Isthol, and he is the brother of Prince Elfangor. Like, here's a little plot turn, look at this. And stuff like that you really have to experience for yourself without really knowing it's a coming. But if you do want to talk about spoilers with me and you're watching on the YouTube video, link in the description to my Tumblr Ask Box and talk about Animorphs fan theories. Maybe even talk about how you think Rachel and Tobias's relationship revolves through the series, including, that moment, that lovely moment of awesomeness. Yeah, anyone who has not read the series yet, you'll know the exact moment I'm referring to because, it definitely is something you remember. And anyways, if you're one of those people that, has not really read Animorphs before, and this video is the first time you're really experiencing the series. If you're watching on the YouTubes, link in the description. If you're watching on my bloggity blog, link down below this little video here. And both links will take you to where you can buy your very own copy of Animorphs number 7, The Stranger by K.A. Applegate. Ta-da! And if you're watching this on the YouTubes, please like this video and again comment below because I think it might actually help with the YouTube algorithm so even more people can enjoy whatever this shit is I do. I don't know. I do things. I don't know words that come out of my mouth sometimes. And also, remember, if you do like this video and you do want to see more Animorphs comment. If you do want to see more Animorphs content, okay, good, I said it correctly, subscribe because I'm going to be reading through the whole Animorphs series. And You know? Yeah. It'll be awesome. And if you're watching on my blog and watching on the YouTube version of my blog, if you're watching on the desktop version of my blog, please choose the follow by email option, because guess what? I don't just do these Jash reads. I also do, I guess, little short essay thingamajigs. I also post fan fiction, and sometimes it's very edited versions of my fan fiction. So there's always new things to look at. And currently, I'm doing my monthly Flight Rising giveaway. And Flight Rising is a dragon adoptable site. I don't have enough money to, give stuff away, so ta-da! Dragons! Everyone loves dragons. And the next episode, Jash reads, will be more of Animorphs number 7, The Stranger, and it will air on Monday. Hopefully, if nothing happens. I think what happened actually last Sunday, was I was so intent on editing and getting out the next chapter of A Flame Extinguished, my Game of Thrones fan fiction, that I, lost track of time and wasn't able to practice. And yeah, the latest chapter of A Flame Extinguished, if you like happiness, that isn't the chapter for you. But it's also a chapter you won't really get the full impact of if you haven't read the rest of the fanfic too. But it's hopefully a good fanfic, so that doesn't matter. It's on Archive of Our Own, and my user name is Jashikin, so you can look that up if you want to. It's just be aware, it has the major character death warning on it. And also be warned that I usually am annoyed that it's only, you can't do multiple major character deaths, so just be aware of that. And now comes the time in this little video where I work on a graphic. Let's click the hide thing there. Make sure I'm still recording. Okay, live. Okay, so last time we spent a good deal of time just getting the right background. I wanted one thing, but eventually it wasn't really working out. And I actually got a background that could have helped immensely with another graphics. And so, irony. And now we're just going to do stuff with this background, and then then that'll be the end for tonight. Because I don't want to waste your time. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's do this again. Da 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 da. Na, 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 na. Okay, let's see. Let me try that again. I think I nearly got the hang of this. Let's see. Paint. What does erase do? Do. Okay, goddamn. Okay, let's change the size. So yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to be able to do what I wanted to do. And this will be fun. Fun. So yeah, for Game of Thrones, some new. God damn it. This is not going to be perfect. But no one asked for perfection from me, hopefully. So, anyways, it's some new photos from season 8 of Game of Thrones were released. And there was no Jorah. Jorah Mormont is my favorite Game of Thrones character, and there was nothing. Now, I'm not expecting, some some pictures where it proves that Jorah and Daenerys are going to finally become a couple after 8 seasons. Oh my fucking gods, the romantic chemistry behind with them. And if you want to say, oh, this is why this ship is pragmatic. This is why this ship is problematic and blah blah blah. I mean, it's fucking Game of Thrones. I mean, what good ship, will be unproblematic in this show. I mean, the biggest fucking ship is incest. I repeat, the biggest ship in the fandom, hands down, is an incest pairing between Jon and Dany. Dany is Jon's aunt. And so you're like, oh, this is problematic because blah blah blah, and we can't have problematic things here. It's like, oh fuck, you got into the wrong fandom then. And what's annoying is when when Jon Dany shippers are like, well, okay, what I'm going to be saying next, if you haven't heard it, will sound like bullshit. You're like, oh, that no one would actually say that. Be prepared. Be prepared for your innocence to go away as you see the true darkness of the world. They say, all seriousness, but it's not the bad kind of incest. Okay, just that. There's no saying something's not the bad kind of incest implies that some incest is morally justifiable. Now listen, I ship incest. Okay, I admit I ship incest. I ship very problematic ships that if it were real life, I would probably get the death sentence a few times over. They would but anyways, but I never think of my ships. I never go to someone going, actually, this ship is not problematic. It's very justifiable. It's just like, no. If you're shipper trash, be proud, shipper trash. Rejoice in your trashiness. It's like, just don't. If and I think it really stems from this thing where people think that they have to have the moral high ground all the fucking time. And so it makes them make really weird statements like, but it's not the back. Sorry, I just have to take a moment there. Is that the bad kind of incest? The fuck? You're shipper trash. Be proud, shipper trash. God damn. The fuck? Rejoice in your shipper trashiness. Don't, please don't. Just don't go, but is that the back? It's like just, and they will go like saying, how in universe the incest isn't that bad. Like, it actually works, especially for Daenerys, who's a Targaryen, which, is incest central. But the thing is, for ships they don't like, they won't do that. They'll say, oh, this doesn't make sense in the real world, even though it's like, ah, damn. I don't know. Okay, you see what I was doing there? I thought this needed some light to it, so I added some blue. And I'm sorry that took a little while, and you can see where that didn't really pan out all the way, but I could have done it slower, but then I would take up more of your time. And I think this could work as is, or I could mess with other stuff, but I think that works. And plus, I've taken all your time going, let me be careful, but not too careful, because I need to do time. Yeah, shit. Some of these, it's going to probably bother me. I'm like, this part is already bothering me. I'm sorry. But anyways, that's it. And remember, the next episode of Jash Reads will be on Monday. And there will be 2 new chapters of Animorphs number 7, The Stranger by Kay Applegate. And, if nothing happens. Until next video, goodbye.